When I worked in the Big Four, it felt like one long endurance match most of the time. Almost too much work and never enough time to do it all. But you can't be working 24/7, you gotta blow off steam somehow. So, if you're looking to work in the Big Four or already work in the Big Four, allow me to share you some of my things that I did to blow off steam so I can be fresh the next day and push away that burnout. And I just want to mention real quick, the reason why I'm making this video because I saw one of your comments on one of my other videos asking me what do I do to blow off steam? What do I do basically to push away burnout? And I thought that was a great comment. I read your guys' comments and I appreciate them. Thank you for the person who commented that. And without further ado, let's move on to my hobbies. Sure, life in the Big Four is quite busy, but like many of you, I had hobbies outside of work. It's important to take each break and do the hobbies that you enjoy. Protect them. Continue to do them, the hobbies that make you, you. Don't let your job be all consuming. See your friends and family. It's incredibly important. They give you perspective in your life, provide you insights on yourself that you may not have even known. You'll learn from them. They care about you. They love you. They tell you the hard truths you can't always hear if you have good friends and family. It's important to see them. Seeing my friends and family was something I could always look forward to, if not every weekend, at least on some weekends. That's what I was able to work towards on the weekdays. Seeing my friends will completely take you out of the environment of your job, right? Especially if it's all consuming. Personally, me, I'm not much of a big party person or drinker. I love to dance, but I don't like to stay up late either. I'm not, I guess, the typical like young kid or college person, but the things I'll do, watching movies, getting, tea or coffee somewhere, getting lunch, cooking together, cooking for them or them cooking for me, it's things I enjoyed wholeheartedly. It gave me time to talk to them, learn about their lives. Some of their stories I would learn from them, I could apply to myself and vice versa. Friendship, family, is a great way to pull you away from the daily grind. A hobby I very much enjoy to do outside of work every day is play video games. I'm a single guy right now, so I post at Chris here. Baby, my bad. I meant to say I'm not married currently and with no kids. All right, back to it. I have the time. I wake up early in the morning. I like to play some games. Do something that I want to do first in the beginning of the day so I can do the rest of the day of things that I frankly don't really want to do all day. Waking up early was a thing I did very often as a kid to play video games. I woke up early to play video games because we had really one main TV at my home when I was growing up. And by the time I was 11, 10 a.m., my parents would come down and, it's time for them to use the TV and I won't get it anymore. So I'm very used to getting up very early, 6, 7 a.m. and playing Call of Duty, Black Ops, whatever the game was out at the time. And thankfully, it continued in adulthood. Waking up early was a thing I did very often as a kid to play video games. I woke up early to play video games because we had really one main TV at my home when I was growing up. And by the time I was 11, 10 a.m., my parents would come down and, it's time for them to use the TV and I won't get it anymore. So I'm very used to getting up very early, 6, 7 a.m. and playing Call of Duty, Black Ops, whatever the game was out at the time. And thankfully, it continued in adulthood. Today, outside of the Big Four, I get to enjoy longer games that take more time, that frankly take time to tell their story or become fun. But back in the days when I was studying for the CPA and working in the Big Four, smaller, games that require less time commitment was my bread and butter, and frankly, still something I play today. Fortnite, Call of Duty. Call of Duty was the games that I played because quick 5 to 10 minute matches, right? I'm not committed to the next 2 hours to play this game if I didn't want to. I play 10 minutes, I log off, I go to work, I do something else. They're quick, non-committal things, and that's what I enjoy, and that's what I enjoyed. Not due to the long hours, long days. Often I'm working 12 hours, 10-hour days. I'm staring at the screen all the time. I'm staring at a screen. My eyes are getting dry. My nearsightedness is becoming more prominent because I'm not looking far away. One thing that always helps my eyesight and also your mind as you go through this marathon or just work or do life. Something I find that helps is working out, going on walks, exercise. I always like the idea of progression. To me, I like to make life like a video game. So I'm always trying to progress, get to the next level. And building my muscles is like, getting to the next level. Getting stronger here, putting on more weight is like getting to the next level. I gamify my life to make it more fun for me. I also happen to read a lot of articles and hear from other people that exercise is great for your mental health. Hey, let's face it, when you're working in the big four, really any job that requires, and most jobs do, demand long hours, lots of time, sometimes have lots or some pressure, right? It's good to go in that with a healthy mindset, with a well rested, well worked mind. And, cheesy to say, but a good mind often starts with a good body. As you're treating your mind by getting all this information, make sure to treat your body as well with all this, exercise, relieving of physical stress, right? And just working out. It doesn't have to be strenuous, if you don't want to. Just as long as you're moving. I mean, you do what you do, but that's what I enjoyed. Cooking is something that I've always enjoyed. I like building things. I like, as I said, progression, always going to the next level and seeing things progress. And cooking was always something like that. Big four. You're working 10, 12 hours, 15-hour days sometimes. You're working really long hours at some points of the year. And to kind of break that up, lunch and dinner. Now, let's be frank, I'm not always cooking my lunches or dinner. It's quite impossible. It's quite hard. I found during the busy season, I worked my full 8 hours. I'm like, okay, cool. I got to keep going. I got to keep going till like maybe 9 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., however long I need to go. Well, to break that up, a natural way is that, hey, I'm hungry. I need to eat, right? I decide to go to the kitchen and I cook a meal. It's something totally different from the job that I'm doing at the time. I walk away from all the stresses and troubles for at least a brief moment just to cook myself a meal. Chopping those onions, cooking that beef, all that stuff. Very different from the job that I'm doing at my desk on my computer, and it was a great way to kind of help me continue to the next step, right? I told myself I'm going to keep going, right? But I need to take a break now so I can keep going later. And this was that natural break. Cooking was a way for me to get away from my laptop, stand up, and literally do anything else other than work. Another hobby I do to keep myself sane is play instruments. I've been playing instruments since I was 10, fifth grade. I played the trumpet, clarinet, tuba, piano, a little bit bragging here, but I love playing instruments. It's something I've always enjoyed. In college, I'm studying a bunch. I'm going through my master's, going through my bachelor's. I'll have jazz band on Monday, orchestra and concert band on Friday. It was a great way to kind of break up my days. I had pep band sometimes, could be any of the days, including the weekend, which, it's kind of, it takes up a lot of time, but it's still something I enjoyed at the end of the day. I loved playing the tuba and the clarinet and the piano for all these different bands. So it helped break up my time. Today, right, it's a great way for me as an adult. It's kind of true as they say. You don't get to meet as many people as you're an adult. You kind of just see your coworkers, you see the people, your loved ones that you live with, and your family. But it's not like college where you're meeting a new person every single day. You're making a new friend every single day. That being said, concert band, a community concert band I play in today, every other Saturday we join. It allows me to meet people, do something different, do something I enjoy, still keep that part of my life, and it is something completely different from my job. It helps me, every time you enter, for me, when I enter that environment, it could be for someone who, when they go to the gym, when they play video game with their friends, when they go golfing with their friends. It's just a different environment for my job that helps me come back to myself, my younger self. It allows me to focus on these people who were, very specific goal of playing music, not getting a job done, but playing music, right? Not doing accounting, but playing music. And it was just another way for me to escape, release, learn something different. And it's something I still love to do to this day. My last hobby is very broad, but I made it so because it capitalizes everything else that I guess I want to talk about without making this video too long. And that's setting little goals for myself to help me feel accomplished, inside and outside work. Sometimes work isn't going so well. So there's other things in my life that hey, this is good. One of them, it could be Duolingo. My girlfriend's Dominican, so I want to learn Spanish, Chinese and I only speak English, so learning Spanish is a nice challenge. It helps me communicate to some of America's family members, and it gives me something else to work towards in the week. I also like sometimes to do 100 push-ups a day. I don't do it every single day. I try to, but it's something that I can wake up, do, or before I go to bed, do, and I feel accomplished. It's something accomplishable, something relatively simple or easy, all relative, to do before work day, after work day. It's these little win moments that I can get outside of work that really help when things in work aren't going well. Because let's face it, we're working most of the time. So any win we could get inside of work and outside work, or really any win we can get in life, big or small, is a win. And it's nice. It makes me feel good. And for me, like I said, maybe you're getting a pattern here. I love progression. I love the idea of progression. That every day, we're becoming just that much better, better at something, better people, more articulate people, smarter people, stronger people. And that's how I kind of gamify my life, to make the grind, to make the daily, whatever you do, easier to swallow. So that's it, guys. A short little video, I think, just explaining some of the hobbies and some of the things I do to push away burnout and make sure that I don't burn out while working a really intense career, or really any career at all. These are just some of the things that I do in the last 4 years to kind of keep me sane, keep me mentally well, keep me physically well, and things that I do that make me feel better about myself as we go through this tumultuous thing called life. So thank you for watching if you're still here. If you have any other hobbies that you like to do, let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate and I read all of your comments, because there's very few of them, so it's easy to keep track. And yeah, I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Boom!